Houston gets the first touch. We are back underway. The NWSL is on Prime this Friday night.
In those areas, and I said to Seb Hines, it's a good problem for you to have, but having to make that team selection and leaving players out is not an easy thing to do, and keeping everybody happy. But Seb Hines seems to be doing a really good job of doing that.
Winning cures a lot of those ills. Ball forward from Marta. Doyle latches on, across, knocked wide by Adriana. Had Banda rising for it, and it fell to the Brazilian silver medalist Adriana on the other end.
Against the Chicago team, when he was talking about, you know, the three that they play, how they're going to play, he was often out on the sideline with a tactics board. And I mentioned, as a player, I think in the game, that's sometimes difficult. And I like what he said to us yesterday. He said, I just sit back sometimes out, let the players make mistakes, let them take responsibility on the field of play, and let them do what they want to a certain degree in those attacking areas.
Banda and Tarciane going stride for stride. Banda won it. Banda picks her head up. Banda fires, and ultimately Simple for Campbell had a long run coming down the right-hand side to help from Doyle and never spotted it. Came to her after the game in North Carolina and said, hey, you're on our radar. We've got some camps coming up. Didn't think it would be the next camp. And got the call after a game against Utah. Tarciane, that's blocked. Through for Banda, brilliant. Banda against the world as ever. Banda turns on the Jets and knocked out by Campbell. Nielsen clears. Angelina, ball drops. Banda knocked down. Still loose, top of the 6. Over to Strom. She goes cascading to the ground. Still blocked, and Houston got it away. A lot of traffic. Campbell got enough in the defense, able to knock it out of harm's way. Totally agree, and just because you don't get a predetermined draft slot as Banda breaks through. Banda bursting through. Banda rolls it back. Adriana is there. Doyle now. Doyle knocks it right at Campbell.
It was there, Mike, but I think everybody just took one touch too many. The ball went to Barbara Banda. In that moment, I wanted her to be more selfish. I was questioning before she should have passed it to Julie Doyle. And in that moment, I'd like to see Barbara Banda go towards goal. It is. I played against Hayley when she was here, and it's incredible to see her come back as a GM of a team that's sitting top of the NWSL.
And that team is struggling with the dash tonight. Scoreless at the intermission. Changes both ways at halftime. Marta kicks us off into the second 45. The return to play game in the NWSL, coming off the remarkable Olympic Games. An Olympian in for Houston at the break. Yeah, Pickett's going to add an entirely different element. Her service, more often than not, comes from such a deeper place on the field. It's like an entirely different angle. Somehow Banda able to poke that free to Adriana. Adriana angles in on Patterson, whips it all the way across. Snuck by the post. Had Doyle and Banda laying and waiting. Suddenly rather enticing here for Houston. Hung up by Rubinson. Dealt with easily. Taken out of the air and sent wide. Rubinson. Strides by, sends service again, bounces, Alozia!
Great strike from Alozia.
159 million years of history. This knocked in from Adriana and grabbed by Campbell. Finally comes to the fore. It's the teammates who call it the Stegosaurus hair.
A player that has found her place, has found a home here. We spoke about her going over to Real Betis in Spain and that experience, how much it helped her and playing for the Spirit. But now I think she's finally found the place that she can call home. She gets minutes. She's a main player on this team.
Jacobs couldn't get a piece of that. Falls. Yates! Yates! The Orlando breakthrough! Summer Cup's over. Summer Yates taking over, and Orlando, trying to stretch the longest unbeaten run in league history, grabs the lead.
Great composure from Summer Yates. Great finish. I was just giving Natalie Jacobs so many props. And of course she makes that mistake. It was a really good ball between the fullback and the centre back from Angelina. But this is all about Summer Yates for me. Look at the composure, the touch with the left foot to take it across. and just bends it in that bottom right-hand corner. Jane Campbell has no chance, but that was so complimentary. It's not all about, it's not Natalie Jacobs' fault entirely, because the ball needed to be stopped before it got to that position. But Natalie Jacobs needs to stand strong. Yeah, and I think they need to bring in another centre forward. I think they need to bring in another midfielder in those areas. I think Nagasato and Schmidt, both redundant. They do the same job. I think Schmidt can do that job on her own.
Marta angles free. Marta saved Campbell. Oh, that was wild from Marta. Well, is already internationally retired. Corner for the Pride. Up for Banda. Steers it down. Campbell angles over.
It's interesting because it was comfortable saving the end from Jane Campbell, but Barbara Banda, to be able to generate that type of power on the ball. It's a good ball into the box. Wasn't much power in it, but she still was able to generate quite a bit of power. And you can see underneath, there was bodies there. Summer Yates looked like she could have potentially have gotten the end of it in the end.
One of the most jaw-dropping stats in the history of the NWSL. Olivieri. Rubinson. Header steered high, not a great clearance. Angling for space, return from Andressa, ball falls. Alozia knocked down by Morehouse. Fans here trying to spark a reaction, and they find a goal. Over 600 regular season minutes without a goal now for the Dash. Getting end line. Ball hung across, header off the post. How did that not go in? How in the world?
This is miss of the season for me, Mike. Really good ball in. Andressa has to put that in the back of the net. That has to be a goal. Has to be a goal. Really good ball in. Miss of the season. I've done it myself. It happens. I completely understand that has to be a goal. Has to be a goal.
Schmidt, ball knocked down, and Orlando's off to the races the other direction. 3v2. The equalizer was right there. Andressa. Now it's Adriana. Adriana crossing. Tarsiane.
They do well defensively.
That's it. It's full time. And the Orlando Pride own history by their lonesome. The longest unbeaten streak in regular season NWSL history.